love this little box. It's like the most fun thing to stalk after every video I publish on YouTube. And if your video's doing well, it throws a little bit of confetti. It's so much fun. Now, obsessively checking your analytics isn't one of the 4 things that you should always do every time you publish a new YouTube video. But if you like that kind of thing, stay till the end and I'll break down exactly what these 3 metrics are telling you. So the top 4 things to do every single time you hit publish with a new video on your YouTube channel to grow your channel and grow your business. Number 1, we're gonna make this really easy. Publish your video and then go to your video and comment on it. You're gonna do 2 things in that comment. 1, you're gonna put a sentence using the keywords from the video if you can. Just any sentence about that video. Hope you like this video on blah, blah, blah. Insert keyword here. And then you're going to invite your viewers to either watch another one of your videos with a link to that video, subscribe to your channel with a link to your channel. I know they're already on your channel, but just trust me here. Or if you're growing your email list and using a freebie as a way to grow your email list, you can also link to where people can opt into that freebie. Now I have TubeBuddy installed, so I have an extra little shortcut here to make my link in the second part of my comment bold. But once you make that comment, there's probably a good chance that your comment's going to be the first comment, but we want to make sure that your comment stays at the top of all of the other comments that are going to come rolling in. So you can hit the little dots over on the right hand side of the comment section and hit pin comment. That's going to keep your comment at the top of all of the other comments. Now, once you do have some comments rolling in on your video, you should probably respond to those people. Those are your most engaged viewers. They were there when the video was first published. They took the time and the energy to leave a comment. That's a good time to actually reply to those comments. It's up to you whether you reply to all the comments forever, on into infinity. But when you first publish your video, keep an eye on your comments so that you can reply to those most engaged viewers. Now, it can be tempting to take a link to your YouTube video and blast it out on all of your other personal social media, like your personal Facebook profile or your Twitter page. One of those is probably a better idea than the other, maybe Twitter. But if you want to give your video and your channel the best long-term boost to grow your channel, to get more views on that video and all of your other videos, and just overall see success as a content creator online, I recommend you publish a blog post every time you publish a YouTube video. This can be as simple or complicated as you want it to be. And I can tell you from experience that the traffic to my blog plays a huge role in my audience growth and overall business growth. So if you're interested in growing your audience and your revenue outside of just YouTube, you know the whole don't put all your eggs in one basket thing, then don't skip this. Now, I do have a video on my channel on how to turn your YouTube videos into blog posts fast. So I'm not going to rehash all of those steps and workflow here. I'll just put a link to that down in the description. But the reason why this is so important is because when you have a blog post, you have the opportunity to attract people who aren't even on YouTube, to get those people into your audience on your email list, getting traffic to your site and all that you have to offer. For example, take a look at the Google search results for one of my videos. If we scroll down past the ads, you can see my video is right there on top, and below that is a link to my blog post. I am taking up so much space on the precious Google SERP, the search engine ranking position, on that first page. It's all me. And really, it all comes down to SEO for blogging. It is critical to pay attention and know what you're doing when it comes to SEO. And if you want me to do a video on my blog workflow and SEO workflow, then hit me up in the comments and let me know. And you're gonna wanna take your YouTube video and embed it into your blog post. If you're using WordPress, you can take the URL of the video and just copy it in. It will turn into a video. And then, now I don't have 100% certainty that this makes a positive difference on either your blog post or your YouTube video, but It can't hurt. You're gonna take your blog post URL after it's published, and you're going to paste it into the description of your YouTube video, somewhere down below like the top part of your description, maybe wherever you put your links. Now, you are using your YouTube channel and your blog to grow your email list, right? Well, the folks on your email list may be the most likely people to actually be excited to see that you have a new video and want to go and watch it. So instead of waiting for them to like open up their YouTube and see your face, why not send them an email right away? I use ConvertKit for this, and I keep it really simple, really basic. I repeat this process every single time. I just duplicate one of my previous emails, and I have a couple of paragraphs. Sometimes it's just a couple of sentences. I have the title of the video. I'm linking to the video and linking to the blog post. Not everybody wants to watch a YouTube video. Then you're gonna sign off. You've got your name. Don't forget the PS. Put a link to the video in the PS section as well. And the trick here with this email is don't give too much of your content away. You wanna let people know that you have a new video. You wanna give them like just enough information so that if they're interested in that topic, they click play, click through, and actually go watch that video so you get that traffic on YouTube. Now, what can you do about this fun little latest performance box? So this box is telling you how your most recent video is performing metrics-wise as compared to the previous videos that you published in the same time period. So if your current fresh new video is doing about as well as your other videos when it comes to the views, the click-through rate, and the average view duration, you're gonna get a little green check mark. If it's not doing quite as well as your other previous videos, and I mean even by the slightest amount, you're gonna get a down arrow. And if it's doing a little bit better or a lot better than your previous videos, then you're gonna get a green up arrow. What do you do with this information? Well, after a couple of days, not right away, but after a couple of days, once YouTube has had a chance to figure out what your video is about, who's watching your video, and who it could push your video out to further, if your click-through rate, that impressions click-through rate, is lower than normal or lower than what you want it to be, or you're just not happy with it, you could switch out your thumbnail. All you have to do is create a new thumbnail and switch it out and hit save. You could also change the title of your video to make it a little bit juicier, and that might improve your click-through rate. It might. It's just a test. Other than that, if you just publish that video and you're like watching that box like a hawk, there's not a whole lot you can do other than take some notes and ask yourself some questions about how you can improve your next video based on how this one is performing. For example, if you want to get a green arrow on the views metric, which we all do, then you may want to ask yourself, what's preventing that from happening? What's preventing my video from getting more views? Is it that they're just seeing it and they're like, man, that's not that interesting? Maybe the video is interesting, but you could create a little bit more of a juicy title or a little bit more of a juicy, more curiosity-driven thumbnail, right? Maybe putting some more thought into what exactly is going to entice people to click on this video and hit play is going to help you in your next video to increase and improve that click-through rate metric. Now, when it comes to the average view duration, this kind of comes down to like how boring your video isn't. The more interesting, the more helpful, the more entertaining, whatever your video is, the longer people will stay watching your video. And YouTube, of course, wants people to stay on YouTube as long as possible. That's why they share this very, very important metric with you, because YouTube is like trying to nicely say, hey, could you make your videos a little less boring? And if you're happy with your average view duration, you're getting green arrows every time you hit upload for that metric, then you're doing pretty good. I always I always have some improvement that I could make in that area along with my click-through rate. But most of what I just said is about improving your next video. So you just published a video, you're gonna comment on the video, you're going to write a blog post, doesn't have to be fancy, you're gonna send an email, doesn't have to be complicated, and then you're going to watch those metrics for how to improve your next video. Now, if you're like Meredith, I do not have time to write a blog post for every YouTube video that I publish. I'll queue up my next video over here on how to turn your videos into blog posts quickly. I'll see you there.